It's the coffee shop. All right, excellent. That was lame. I'm disappointed. How long have I been going? 30 minutes. Fucking shit. Nikki and I sit with Ken as we wait for his brother to arrive. His brother's gonna be like ripped as fuck. I already know it. Nikki fusses over Ken. He lets her. As I watch the two of them, I pay close attention to Ken. He's calm, respectful, and polite. But most importantly, he makes Nikki smile. Well, I can't really just say nothing. But, cause like, if this were me, like, I don't actually have a sister, but like, I can kind of understand where this dude is coming from. So, like, if it were me, I wouldn't, like, bother them. I would just kind of be like, oh, well, they good. They good. Hey, Ken, can I talk to you for a second? He looks up at me with wide eyes, the very same expression he wore the first time I met him.
Sure.
Amused, I lead him to a quiet area behind the shelves. I'm trusting you to take care of her. He blinks blatantly before his eyes open wide again. As his face goes pink, he bows at a perfect 90-degree angle.
Of course. Thank you for your trust.
You don't have to bow. He returns to an upright position.
Sorry.
Don't apologize.
Sorry.
I glare at him and he shuts up. Heh, this is kind of fun. I think I may actually enjoy this turn of events. Alright, let's go back. Nikki bombards us with questions as we return.
What was that all about? Why wasn't I invited? Why did Ken bow?
Yeah, Ken, why did you bow? I grin devilishly at him, daring him to answer.
It's because he's my senpai?
Lit! Nikki stares at him blankly, then shifts her attention to me.
What did you do?
Nothing at all. Isn't that right, Ken?
Of course.
Nikki pouts, but I can see the trace of a smile. I guess she's glad we're finally getting along. Let's be real here, Ken would be a pretty rad brother-in-law. I mean, like, I made fun of him before, but, like, respect. My boy. A few minutes later, Ken's brother shows up. He convinces Ken to go to the hospital and thanks us for our help. With Ken safe, we head home. Nikki lets out a huge breath when we step into the living room. Her face is unusually serious. She hangs her head and stares at her feet.
I'm so sorry.
Why?
If I hadn't gone to visit Ken, I wouldn't have lost track of time and stayed out so late. And then I wouldn't have gotten into this mess and made everyone worry.
Nikki, what happened wasn't your fault. I'm gonna fix my hair. Fucking kill yourself. Fucking hair. Ugh! She glances up at me.
But if I...
No, none of this is your fault. What happened is the fault of those guys, and if I ever find out who they are, I'm going to finish what Ken started. Nikki smiles weakly and nods.
I think I'll go take a shower.
That has nothing to do with beating people up. We're here to fuck shit up. No, you know what they say. I'm here to kick ass and chew bubble gum, and I'm all out of bubble gum. I always liked that quote. That was a good one. Sure. I need to do it in like a more... I'm kind of losing my voice, but I'm here to kick ass and chew bubble gum, and I'm all out of bubble gum. Or like maybe I could like scream it like, I'm here to kick ass and chew bubble gum, and I'm all out of bubble gum. I don't know. I'm trying to fucking... I'm gonna put that in a metal song one day. As soon as Nikki goes upstairs, Kaito pops his head out of the kitchen.
Is Nikki gone?
Yeah. He pauses and gives me another look.
Did something happen?
She almost got beat up! I debate telling Kaito about the incidents, but I don't want him to needlessly worry. It looks like he has something else on his mind. It's fine. What's up?
I heard back from the PI.
What did he say?
Ezra Wilson.
What? The drunk driver?
Yeah. What do you really know about him?
He and Dad used to work together at Midori Energy. They were on every project together, and he used to come to the house all the time while we were growing up. I thought he and Dad were friends. Excuse me. That was rude. Even though I'm still disappointed in that one. My voice trails off. I need to drink a soda if I really want to burp. Good one. His blood alcohol was far over the legal limit. It's not like the cops could ask him about it due to his coma, nor was there any evidence which indicated that this was more than a cut and dry drunk driving incident. There was no incentive to investigate further, so that was all that was listed in the report.
Well, it turns out Ezra was stalking your father.
Oh, lit. I frowned. That doesn't make sense. They saw each other every day at work. Maybe that's how they were stalking him. Why?
The PI read about a huge fire at Midori Energy the week before your parents' accident. He spoke to a few people and found out that the fire destroyed important documents which contained all the research for Midori's latest project.
I racked my brain. I think I might remember hearing something about that fire.
The documents which were destroyed was your father's and Ezra's research.
Dad's research? I try to recall Dad right before the incident. He seemed a little more worried than usual, but otherwise didn't give any indication that something was amiss. Shouldn't he have been devastated by something like losing years of research? Was he trying to protect me, or was something else going on?
Ezra didn't take the loss well. Right after the fire, Ezra accused your father of purposely sabotaging him by setting their research on fire.
Dad wouldn't do that. It was his research, too.
Right. It didn't make sense. Nobody believed him and they chalked up his breakdown to stress. But he wouldn't let it go. He accosted your father many times at work demanding answers. It got so bad that he was assigned a leave of absence by the company. On the day of the accident, your parents had lunch at a cafe.
Nikki called them asking for a ride. Yeah, I remember.
The PI asked the waitstaff if they remembered seeing your parents there, and they did. Ezra too.
He was there?
Yeah, he'd followed them there and was already clearly intoxicated. He demanded that they pay him all the money he would have made upon completion of the project.
He said your father owed him.
Obviously, your father refused and continually maintained his innocence. Ezra became so disruptive, the manager had to forcibly remove him from the cafe.
Your parents seemed shaken, but tried to finish their meals as if nothing happened.
That's when they received the call from Nikki.
And I guess Ezra tried to tail them, but ended up running them off the road. Kaido nods, looking more grim than ever. Something doesn't add up. What research is important enough to kill over? And if Ezra was driven to madness after losing his life work, why was Dad barely affected? Then there's this convenient timing of Akira's copycat core. How much time has passed since the accident? Since the fire? Enough for the company to piece together just enough of the research to turn a profit. Uncle Kaito, he looks at me. I think the research that killed Dad has to do with my core. He hesitates, then nods slowly.
You might be right.
Wasn't there an encrypted piece that Valerie wasn't able to unlock? Maybe that can help me make sense of all this. I need to take another look at it. I need to go look at my core. Uncle Kaito doesn't try to stop me.
You do what you need to do.
Just be safe. Thanks, Uncle Kaito. Let's fucking do this. For the second time a day, I race to the garage and hop back on my bike. Then I drive to Ace, and it's like fucking 11:30 at night. The campus feels more empty than usual. Although it's after hours, I have no trouble swiping into the hangar. All is quiet except for the sound of my footsteps. I cannot get to Eagle fast enough. As soon as I do, I plop down at the terminal and boot up the computer. Following the instructions Valerie left for me, and I'm greeted by a password prompting the screen she showed me earlier. Password prompting screen she showed me earlier. It said there was a hint here. Let's see what it says. The computer is a scrambled mess of words with no rhyme or reason to them. I read through a couple of times, making sure my eyes don't skip any words. Most of these words mean nothing to me, but a select few stand out. Cricket, Moo, Sir Hopsalot. Alright. Those are childhood nicknames Gad gave me. Each one of them has a story, but none of them were very long-lived. The ultimate nickname that stuck with me for an embarrassingly long time was Meatball, because when I was born, my cheeks were big and round like meatballs. Dad's favorite story to tell was the time I started school. The teacher called Silver for a roll call, and I stayed silent, so she marked me absent. After she'd gone through the list of names, I said she didn't call mine. She asked if my name was Silver, and I responded, no, my name is Meatball. I'd been called Meatball at home for so long I didn't even know my real name. That must be the answer. I apprehensively type Meatball into the password prompt. My fingers hover over the enter key before pressing it. Alright, this is about to get fucking real. Ugh, all the hanger noises disappeared. Oh, we're about to see a video shit. Alright, video message. I'm probably dead! Lit! It's like, hey son, if you're seeing this, I'm probably dead. Lit! The prompt disappears and a video pops up on the screen. My breath catches in my throat as Dad looks straight into the camera. There are dark circles under his eyes and worry lines around his mouth. His hair sticks up at odd angles and his clothes are smudged with dirt and oil. He notices the recording light is on and tries to fix himself up a bit before giving a weak smile.
The fact that you are watching this now means something must have gone wrong.
My dad has a voice. He sighs and his voice grows thick.
I'm sorry.
I try to swallow the lump in my throat and ignore the sting of tears in my eyes. This isn't the dad I remember. The dad I remember had a booming laugh which took up the room. He was sure of himself and never had regrets.
By putting this technology in Eagle, I have potentially endangered you. But I don't know where else I can keep it safe. Midori Energy doesn't fully understand the scope of this research. They're willing to sell it to anyone without considering the consequences. Companies which would weaponize this technology will cause irreparable damage. They could create energy explosions 13 times the force of a nuclear bomb.
Oh! Let's nuke Curry! I'm just kidding, please. Like, I do value human life to some extent. Anyway. He sets his jaw and lifts his gaze back toward the camera. His eyes are unusually steely and cold.
That's why I caused the fire. I burned all copies of my research to prevent it from falling into the wrong hands.
Shit. He did cause the fire. Man. But Dad runs his hands through his hair, a gesture he would do whenever he was stressed or worried.
It's hard to completely destroy 20 years of research. Especially when this technology could bring so much good.
Yeah, okay.
Possibilities would have been endless. This new format of energy may function similarly to existing methods, but the fundamental principles are vastly different and have far wider scalability implications.
Dad, you lost me. I'm not okay. Possibilities would have been great. All right. As a shadow of his old self returns while he talks, and I can catch a glimpse of a genuine smile. Dad was always a bit of a dreamer. Then his face becomes grim.
And that is why this core is sitting in Eagle now.
His piercing gaze stares straight into my soul.
I'm sorry for getting you involved. I'm sorry I couldn't follow through with what I started. But most of all, I'm sorry I wasn't able to tell you this in person.
His eyes look glassy and glitter too much beneath the light.
I probably don't say this enough, but I'm so proud of who you've grown up to be. I know, if you're watching this, that I've put a heavy burden on your shoulders. But I trust you will make the right decision. My only hope is that you can find it in your heart to forgive me.
Dad glances behind him. Something must have spooked him because when he faces the camera again, he smiles feebly and his voice is quiet.
Take care of your sister. Goodbye, son.
The video cuts off abruptly. So he did cause the fire. So he did actually cause the fire which burned up the research. So Ezra was right. But he still went crazy about it. There's a decision I have to make, which I'm still not exactly sure what it is. Okay, whatever. We'll go on. At first, I'm too stunned to move. The image of Dad is seared into my eyes. He was the same, yet so unfamiliar. As his face slowly fades away, I'm surprised to feel wetness on my cheeks. He knew. He knew exactly what he was doing when he hid this technology inside of Eagle, and now I understand why I wasn't allowed to help program the core. I understand why Dad seemed almost obsessive about completing Eagle. It also makes sense why I never noticed a difference between this core and any other core. Dad never matured the technology. But he must have set up the overdrive configuration probably not long before he bit the dust. He set the overdrive to only happen once so I'd begin to search for answers. His last words ring in my mind. Goodbye, son. He knew the implications of his research and entrusted it all to me through the gear we built together. I glance over at Eagle, partially obscured by the shadows. The darkened blue no longer seems warm and inviting like the salty spray of the ocean, but feels dangerous and cold like a winter sky. I try to bring up the video once more so I can hear his voice one more time, see his face, even though it's not the one I want to remember, but I can't. It was a one-time initiation. As I try to process the situation, I don't know what to feel. I recall Dad's hollow cheeks and the shadow of pain in his eyes. Of one thing I am certain, I cannot keep using the core knowing all of this. But what will I do about the research? What? I mean, I feel like keep it protected, right? I mean, like, if you protect it, like, I mean, there doesn't really seem to be anything bad about it. Sometimes Dad thought too much about the big picture and forgot about the details. He wanted to create a better future for us and was willing to die to make his dreams a reality. If only he could have seen the future we wanted was one with him in it. I don't want Dad's sacrifice to have been in vain. I want him to achieve his dream. I climb up the ladder beside Eagle and open the cockpit. Then I key in the sequence in which which unlocks the panel protecting my core. Like a beating heart, it gives off a faint pulse of energy. I open the terminal screen in my cockpit and find the source of the information for my core. After collecting all the schematics and data into the drive, I set an impossible run instance. What does that mean? The low glow continues to brighten more and more. After a zapping noise, it becomes an opaque object. As far as anyone would know, the core short-circuited. This technology belongs with a company who will utilize it properly. Until I know who that is, I'll keep it safe with me and not bring any more attention to it. After learning all that I have, I can't keep using it as a leg up against the competition. Eagle will use a regular core from now on. So, in either situation, you can't use the overdrive mode anymore. I'm not sure. I might just need to like watch it again because I'm not exactly sure like why. So like I need to watch it again. It doesn't make any sense to me. As I stand there, I suddenly feel so tired and so lost. Without thinking, I pull out my phone and dial the first name that comes to mind.
Hey, I didn't expect to hear from you so soon.
Yuna, can we meet? Worry enters her
Yes,
voice.
of course. What's wrong?
I just found out about something huge and need to talk.
Okay, should I come over?
No, I'm not at home. I can come to you if that's okay.
Sure.
Thanks, I'll be there soon. We hang up, and as if in a daze, I make it to Yuna's house. I hear barking on the other side of the door, and Yuna ushers me in before Mochi can escape. As we settle in on the couch, she frowns.
Are you okay?
Mochi leaps onto the couch and places a paw on my leg. I absent-mindedly pat his head. I think so. Looking around at the familiar living room, I once again note the immaculate cleanliness of the place. Are your parents back? She shakes her
They're
head.
coming back tomorrow.
Right at the start of exams, huh?
As if I won't be stressed enough.
I thought you didn't like being in this big house alone.
Not usually, but now that I have Mochi.
I feel a strong tug on my lap as Mochi bites my jacket.
Mochi! No!
Yuna scoops up the wriggling puppy and puts him on the floor. He whines and scampers under the couch when Yuna continues to chastise him. I don't know. I'm like still trying to figure everything out. I'm like kind of weirded out and I don't know! Yuna peers in my clenched hand.
What's that?
I hadn't realized I brought this in with me. I opened my hand to reveal the drive. Yuna cocks her head to the side and gives me a questioning look. It's the data to my core.
Did something happen to your core?
Not exactly.
Then why is the data in a drive?
I downloaded it. She pauses and fixes her big blue eyes on me. I fill her in on everything I'd learned. She listens attentively to my jumbled mess of a story and only speaks once I've
I
finished.
see.
Suddenly her arms wrap around me. What? She squeezes me even tighter and lays her head on my chest. Her touch dissolves the dam holding back my emotions, and all the pain and fear and confusion threatens to burst. Duh. As my thoughts and emotions swirl without abandon, I cling onto my only thread of stability and hold Yuna just as tightly. We stay like this way until I've had a chance to calm down and regain control of my emotions, then Yuna gently pulls away. Sorry, I guess I'm not that fun to be around right now.
You have a lot on your mind.
Yeah.
From what I've heard, you two are a lot alike.
I blink. What?
You and your father.
From what you've described, he's confident and headstrong, but has an immense heart. He was always looking out for those he cared about. Sounds familiar, doesn't it?
She smiles.
I know this must be confusing for you. It sounds like your dad kept a lot of secrets, and you keep wondering what if. Wondering how you couldn't see this coming sooner.
It's like she can see directly into my brain. She looks into my eyes.
You can't go down that rabbit hole. It will consume you. You couldn't see it because your dad didn't want you to see it. He was trying to protect you. The same way you haven't told Nikki because you're trying to protect her.
How did you know that? Yuna's look
Because
softens.
I know you. Because I do the same thing.
She looks away.
Because Yudai did the same thing.
Of course, Yuna understands what I'm going through, right? Or what I'm going through. Yuna. She smiles and shakes her head slightly.
I drove myself crazy trying to imagine all the way things could have been different. But in the end, it just made the grieving process that much harder. I wasn't able to move on until I learned to let go and accept what happened.
She leans against me and I let my head rest on top of hers.
We have to keep moving forward, but we don't have to forget our past. Your dad loved you, and that's why he entrusted your course technology to you.
I almost lost my mouse. Ugh. I pause. Do you think I made the right choice? She pushes herself up and looks me in the
I
eyes.
know you did.
I let out the breath and I hadn't realized I was holding. Sorry. I let out the breath I hadn't realized I was holding. Yuna's confidence in me is unwavering and her strength helps me find peace. There's no use in living in the past. What's done is done. The only thing left to do is make sure I honor my father's final wishes. She snuggles back into me and I hold her close. The silence isn't stifling or uncomfortable, but a warm blanket of understanding and companionship. Thank you. I lean in and our lips lock. When we linger and kiss and she melts into my embrace. As we slowly pull away, I gaze deeply into her eyes. This moment, I have clarity. It winces away all my stress and fears. It's okay that I don't have all the answers now because I'm looking at my future. And it is beautiful. I smell... the end. Praise Jesus! Oh! I spilled my water everywhere! No! Shit. Okay! That was Ace Academy! Hold on. Who is this beautiful lady? Samantha Chan. Okay. Excellent. We've officially completed Ace Academy, and I knew in the back of my mind that it was going to be this session, and I knew it, and I didn't think for it, and now, how long have I been going? 53 minutes, excellent. So, I knew I smelled it, so this is definitely the end, and that was a pretty solid ending, but it kind of left us kind of meh. Like, it could go either way. It could get a sequel, but it was a pretty solid ending. So like it doesn't really, just based on like how this game is pretty much indie developed, it kind of seems like there won't be a sequel. Excuse me. That is kind of adorable. The only time Kaori's looked remotely cute. But so that's it. For this. For Ace Academy. I won't be playing this anymore on the channel. But, yeah, so I really love this game. First visual novel I've played. I'm going to be playing Crystal Land when it comes out, which is by the same people, but it's like fantasy as opposed to sci-fi, so, like, I think it'll be cool. But for now, next week we are going to be returning to the Platinum Nuzlocke, which means I have to start recording that again soon. So, yeah. So, excellent job. I loved it. The story was pretty damn incredible. And, yeah. Thank you for playing Ace. I look like a bastard. Holy shit. Anyway, so this There's water everywhere. This is probably going to be the only episode over 30 minutes. That's pretty cool. So we're going to be moving back next week to the Platinum Nuzlocke. Hopefully I can make this into 2 episodes. We can have exactly 40 for this series, so that would be good. Anyway, so I love this game. It's very good, and I might go back in my spare time and play some of the other routes, but Yuna is definitely my favorite girl in this game. No doubt about that. And, so, play this game. It's just so damn good. Writing is brilliant. Visuals are brilliant. At least, like, for a visual novel. Like, it's good compared to a regular novel. I mean, what's there to complain about? So awesome. It was great, and I love it, and just like the romance, and then like the action, and the everything. It was good, and it's really, it's like almost I was hoping. I mean, I was kind of hoping, but like I was kind of hoping it would turn into like a murder mystery, where like trying to go in and back to like New York City, and you figure out what happened to your parents, and they're dead, and that's not water. So yeah, that's it. So moving on to other things. So yeah, like I said, Platinum Nuzlocke is next week. I'm going to be playing Crystalline. I don't know when that's coming out, but whenever it is, I'm going to be playing it. So it's going to be just like this, and it was good. So it was great. And there's waifus and all kinds of good shit. So good stuff. This game is great. And I had a sinking feeling in the back of my mind that said the end was going to be this time, and I just kind of fucking knew it. And I called it, and I know that sounds like kind of like a excuse almost. Like, oh, I totally knew this was coming, but like, I've read like reviews, and they're like, oh, this is a good game, you should play it. And I'm like, we've done 38 parts of this series already. When is this gonna end? And it ended. So great. It was fun. So much fun. Definitely a great first visual novel, and I cannot wait for Crystalline to come out. So yeah. Thank you all for watching this series, all fucking 40 episodes of it. And, only 57 minutes. So, yeah. I appreciate it. We hope you enjoyed it. I did it. And we love to hear and incorporate player feedback into future projects, so please feel free to let us know your thoughts on the discussion boards or in a Steam review. With that formality out of the way, whew, what a ride it's been. For our original supports, thank you so much for sticking with us. For new players, welcome to the Pixel Fade family. While the Adventure Ace stops here for now, Pixel Fade is always exploring new options. Please feel free to check out what we are up to at pixelfade.com. Thanks again. Beautiful. Mwah. Excellent. All right. What? Black screen? Are we gonna... Is this going anywhere? Oh, fuck. Still here? There's nothing else! This isn't a Marvel movie where you get a special hidden teaser. Oh, we're gonna get a hidden teaser. I get the feeling I just set an expectation that we will have something after all this text. Look, I got nothing, so stop trying, okay? Press escape or right-click the mouse button and be on your merry way. I'm still here. Okay, maybe I might have something to share. Are you ready? Here goes. Ah! Sorry, that's not... I'm a little intimidated. Sorry, that's not actually a thing. Though I will say that mock reveal somehow ended up looking pretty cool, lol. For realsies, though, we're excited about a new visual novel currently in development. Check out pixelfade.com for details. Thanks again for playing. D. Goodbye. The game ends here for real. Your inner thought, hold on, Pixel Fade. What? You really just in the game like that? Yes. No, not acceptable. We're sorry. Ace is a crowdfunded project and we did our best to give in our resources. Actually, the length is almost twice as long than we initially planned. We stretched out as long as we could. So if you had more resources, I could have a longer game? Indeed, as an indie team, your support will directly impact the scope of our projects, including future ones. Alright, I'm moderately... Oh, this is bullshit. No problem, Silver. Thank you for your consideration and understanding. Have a great day, D. Alright, thank you. Back to the title screen. Alright, excellent. Water is still everywhere. That update, I still spilled water everywhere, and I'm going to have to go clean it up. What an ending. Alright, so that was fun. My future, well, it's not looking beautiful for me, but for my character in the game, well, I'm surprised there was no sex. That's only complaint. Just kidding, that's not really a complaint, because we had eye sex a whole lot, so that was good. Anyway, waifus and visual novel and actually fun, entertaining reading and choices. So play this game, and I love it, and that's about it. So that's my review and final thoughts on the game, and so don't question it, and I'll see you later. Bye. Next week, Platinum Pokemon. Fuck. Be there! Or be square. Or be a circle. I really don't care.